Yeah, I mean, most people don't even think in India-Pakistan binary. They think only India or only Pakistan. So the next step is to think of India-Pakistan. And the larger step is to think of South Asia. And the even larger step is to think of yourself as a world citizen. Because, I mean, the planet has very little time left. So unless we think as world citizens, I mean, all these borders, India, Pakistan, they're made so recently. They're like man-made creations of not too long ago. So we have to think beyond that kind of limitation. I think young people hopefully are thinking like that because after all, we are already too old to face the real consequences of the disaster that's going to happen to the planet. But young people are going to face it directly. So I do think that it's not just Greta Thunberg, but it's many people are aware that we're destroying the planet. And wars between countries are the fastest way to destroy the planet. But even without wars, the preparation for war is already destroying the planet. So ordinary people have to think, have to discard the influences of those who are trying to tell them to be narrow, whether narrow in terms of religion, religious identity. You can have everybody, I'm not against people being religious, but don't bring it out on the street. Your faith is your own faith, and you have to have respect for people of all cultures. And I think it's important for people to actually reclaim their cultural background from those who are trying to hijack it. Like the people who talk about Hindutva, or the people who talk about Islam in this narrow sense, trying to other everybody who's not like them or part of the same culture. Yeah, I mean, I think that at least I was luckily not brought up like that. And I think that even if you are, it's possible to overcome it. But at the same time, one shouldn't be negative or look down on anybody who is religious. Because if you do that, then you surrender that space to the fanatics. And that's what we should not allow to happen. I mean, right now I'm in North America, showing my films outside India. And I keep noticing that even the diaspora, South Asian diaspora, is not much. They do come to the screen, but there are not large numbers of them. But I went to a Diwali party in which there were hundreds of them. And it was organized by a kind of right-wing, identity-oriented group, Hindu Students Association. And so it's very easy for them to do what they do because they use the existing cultural things that are easy for them to access. And the so-called progressive sections don't bother with cultural things much. And so we surrender that space. So I think that it's important that's why yesterday I talked about groups like Hindus for Human Rights that are saying that we are Hindus, but we don't believe in a narrow definition of Hinduism. We don't want people to do that in our name. We don't want to, as Hindus, we don't want to, be told what Hinduism means. Because there's good and bad in every religion. I mean, Hinduism, there are terrible aspects like the caste system, and there are aspects which are not terrible, like in every religion. I think young people who don't fall for this, who don't live out of their silly WhatsApp forwards that are sent by right-wing organizations, they don't even know that these are right-wing organizations, but these are passed off as facts, and nobody does the fact-checking. So I think those people who actually bother to check out what they see, which sounds, when somebody is being demonized, you check it out. You see whether that's true or false. Let's do double and triple checking to know that, because most of it is fake, most of it is created, most of the history that we're taught is recently written and rewritten. So yeah, I think that just fact-checking, being exposed to universalist ideas, whether in the form of film or anything, music, everything we have between, say, in this South Asian region is a shared cultural heritage. It's impossible to even separate this, whether it's the food, whether it's the music, whatever it is. It's not possible to even say this is this and this is that. Although people have been trying to separate it for a long time, but they can't succeed.